Hey guys, just stopped by quickly to look your tactics September 11 and you also celebrated our first anniversary of Team Password Z channel. It is a worthy anniversary to the Password Z channel that decided by the collective to celebrate it, or to least decide what my money to you buy. Thank you very much guys for your support to have a digital one journey as YouTuber. Thank you very much for every like, subscriptions, and share text you gave me. Thanks also very much for the comments that you encouraged me to produce for me you cut for you. Thank you very much guys for everything for done for me. What you I love you not great it thanks you guys. Let's go get video. For United States President Donald Trump you Tuesday, like a crazy Democratic rival, Joe Biden of crazy obstage team's presidential campaign for booster for his indictment. Half my corrupt political opponent, the dishonest Joe Biden, put me on trial during an election campaign in which I am winning by a lot and forced me to spend time and money right for the campaign to fight trumped up charges. The title asked Downing her New Hampshire. Tubbs were prosecuted as cruel at risk to freedom of speech. United States court dismissed Tubbs' license against you cruel accusation of rapine. Tubbs sent woman to sliding contain World Cup elimination. Trump is raped off Biden in 2014 polls completed by her political science Biden war aimed and Kerry has it tied in for. The fourth American president, favorite Republican primary 2024 president electoral, completed his accusation will prevent him from being in the political arena. Republican candidate Donald Trump accused Democratic candidate Kamala Harris of USA 31 in Chicago have become back for electoral reasons with view to November president elections. She went for the toss as rolling is change to cancer and black person, the Republican said. She is daughter of the Jamaican father and the Indian mother. She is first black woman and the office for a South Asian descent to run for president. The 59-year outside president, a self-described black woman, chose a self-employed campaign to the White House first was support of Joe Biden after a one-year civic election. For years, President Donald Trump responded Minnesota Governor was elected U.S. President Kamala Harris ran a meet. Called to a most recently due to American history. Republicans they walking to the race a progressive liberal, Foskey was Harger and governor. Tim was a cross-savage team, a Minnesota governor charged Democratic Association against the big star data state regional Democrat officials. It crossed views in Congress. In addition, was Cheese also bad house critics to Black Lives Matter posters following that George for 2020 and to the late activist National Guard to discourage confusion and violence. On November 6, 2024, Donald Trump will be called your village with presidential election because turned critic for several presidents. Top victory is confirmed as soon as a stage was called and the last whistle final as a vote count. gave the Republican team additional seats, granted constituents and set 9 seats at the majority electoral college. Trump's victory became more evidence that confirmation to favor the result, with Republicans in the key states Pennsylvania and Georgia considered undecided last opinion polls best constitutional election. 2024 election campaign, to the Vice President criticized by the policy on fans, stated that with his win in the White House when the one union came, because he went for the House, the foreign and impoverished entered in the country. Deport immigrants, war the irregular situation that attack settlements for transgender people, among measures, attack one voter country, a battle against woke culture.
We'll take a couple of quick questions, and then I'll shake a few hands. Question, ma'am, go ahead. Hello.
Hi, welcome, President Trump.
Thank you.
Okay, so you kind of already answered my question a little bit, but my question was, when you become president again, what would the first thing you'll do to fix our current school system and even our current military that's only focusing on teaching woke gender ideology over learning the basics of life and history and protecting us?
So, good question. Some of it partially answered, but not all. With the military, we're ending woke immediately. You know, I ended woke, totally. And then in their first week, they reestablished it. It's crazy. They pay instructors hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It literally, literally, they want our military to be woke. And it's just not going to happen. You read in Hawaii where they had the horrible fire where they have people going there. And before they bring them on board, they have to study woke for a week. Can you believe this? In other words, everyone's wanting to get back to their home, finding the bodies. It was such a tragedy. You don't read about it too much anymore, but hell is going on over there. And they want to give them classes in essentially wokeness. Can you believe? So, you know, you've seen it. Well, we'll end that very quickly. We will, with the school, I think the schools are very important. We're going to bring our education department back. Now, if you look at our education, we pay more per pupil than any country in the world by 3 times. And yet we're at the bottom of the list. We have a bad, very bad. If a place like Iowa, as an example, if you could run your own and we give you just a percentage of the money, because you wouldn't need nearly the money that they waste in Washington. Number one, you love your students, you want your students, you know your students. The parents will be involved. That's the other thing. We're going to let the parents, because some of these school boards have become tyrannical. They've been horrible. But we're going to bring that back, and that's going to answer your question, because I think that we can have one of the best school systems in the world. Right now we have one of the worst. They basically rate 40 countries, and we're always at close to the bottom of the list, sometimes the bottom of the list, and spending more money than anybody else. So we're going to take care of all of your needs very quickly, and I think it's going to happen very quickly. And one of the things we're doing, closing the border day one and starting drilling for oil. Okay? We're going to drill, baby, drill. Right? Okay, do you have one over here?
Hi guys, today is a day about conversation subject. What years are being related on internet and pop culture. I'm talking about road culture. As well as multi-less welcome me. My name is Shubha Azevedo. Watch Password Z channel.
Isn't this Exhibit A why Olympic ratings are so low this year? The focus on woke and not the win?
Woke. Once everyone's all woke it'll be great.
Woke's a dangerous word to use.
Sometimes people can be so woke, though.
Everybody in the end gets cancelled.
Yeah.
Well, as I always say, you know, I mean, good luck to the wokerati when the Chinese Communist Party takes over. They're going to have a great time.
You know, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff. You should get over that quickly. The world is messy.
On this. So Nia DaCosta was an inexperienced director they brought in for Captain Marvel. And, you know, Hollywood now casts directors They don't hire them. So they can prance around, go, look, we got this woman of color directing. A woman of color.
This is
Has
awesome.
never directed a superhero movie on a Thursday in September. So that's what they keep doing.
I could not be more disappointed in the way that Hollywood and the press and the media are handling Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, in the wake of this movie's opening, and how utterly sexist it is. And I'm, once again, not talking about the sexism against the men. We've covered that ad nauseum. Yeah.
How they decided to cast Halle Bailey and make the Little Mermaid black. Now, what do I think about this? You may already know. I think it is lazy. I think Disney could have had an original Black Mermaid and made a whole new story and had, you know, this original character. But instead, they just like to do these quick cash grabs with these live action remakes. And I know mermaids don't exist. And people like to say that. Why do you care? It's just a mermaid. Mermaids aren't real. Okay, but the story exists. There's already a story. The Little Mermaid is already an established character. She is white. She is a redhead. She's not black. If you want a black mermaid, by all means, create a new mermaid who is black, who is Chinese, who is Mexican. Make her whatever you want, but make a new mermaid. Make a new character. I'm sure you can come up with plenty of different original characters. Look at different folk stories from all over the world. Aside from the race swapping, though, there are so many problems.
But I've been excited for years since they announced that they were thinking about making a live action one, because they've been making these live action movies for years, and I've been like, when is Ariel coming? I really want to see the Little Mermaid live action. I want to relive my childhood, blah 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 blah, all of that. But the other day, they finally have decided on the actress to play Ariel, and that is going to be Halle Bailey. Everyone, I think a lot of people thought that it was Halle Berry, but we quickly found out it was Halle Bailey, who is in the singing group Chloe and Halle, which they were basically found by Beyonce and Jay-Z. I went to see the On the Run tour. They were the opening acts. They're both very good at singing and all of that. So they're kind of like Beyonce and Jay-Z's proteges, you know? Is that the right word? Maybe. I'm not totally sure. But when I first heard about that, I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't really think much of it. I mean, I was obviously like, oh, she's not white. But I wasn't angry like some people are. And I can
going. It was all about making it more diverse. The writers also decided to make a few other changes. For example, there's the Queen, who is black, and Eric is adopted. They also changed the scene with the ship, so Ariel is the one who steers the ship instead of Eric, because God forbid a male character was to help save the day. That would be sexist. We wouldn't have Ariel and her girl boss moment, even in her mermaid form, was able to do that somehow. They also made Ariel forget that she has to kiss Eric, which I don't understand why they did that. My only guess is that they felt the original was too rapey, where Ariel just wanted to kiss him because she knew that's what she had to do. I don't understand who is getting offended by this. Who in the writing room was thinking, yeah, that's
ahead of their time and this and that, but yet it took them 50-60 years to get their first black princess, but they're ahead of their time now because Ariel is black. And then they were like, okay, on the other side of the coin, there's gonna be a bunch of people who are gonna be like, but Ariel is supposed to be white, and oh my god, I'm white and I want to see white Ariel and all of this. And they figured the positive outweighs the negative, and the negative will only uplift the articles and presence of the fact that this movie is happening. So it's just a perfect PR choice. It's a great PR choice for them, honestly, because everyone's talking about this right now. I'm making a video on it. I've seen it trending for a few days. Literally, idiots got not my Ariel trending, and I'm just like, you guys have no real life problems, do you? If this is bothering you so much, you have nothing going on in your life. You guys are literally protesting a casting of a character that doesn't exist, that is not based on any race or ethnicity. It's a freaking mermaid, and you created a hashtag and a movement and got a signature change.org thing going on, and you're spending your time doing this instead of trying to get children out of cages. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. But yeah, I honestly think that Disney is doing this because, one, it's just gonna look good, they're gonna look progressive, they're gonna look like, oh, we care about having black princesses, we care about our black audience, but Disney knows they care about the black dollar. They care about the inclusivity, the brownie points that they're gonna get. They care about how good they look. I don't think that they actually care that little girls that are black, that are gonna be sitting down in the movie theater and feel the excitement that so many little white girls got to feel growing up for the past like 150 years, seeing themselves in advertisement and movies. I don't think that they care about that. I think that they care about the money aspect and how good their company is going to look. But you know, it's cool to be like inclusive right now. That is like the hot thing to do right now, especially if you're a company. It's what you should do, and if you're not, you get called out for it. So it's like a whole marketing scheme. Like, I know it's a whole marketing scheme from Disney, so I don't want to give them too many points, even though I will admit Disney is a company.
It's a rag that he made up stories. He's done it before. It's a failing magazine. Right before the election, it's a failing magazine. Anybody else?
That their pensions are not going to companies that will later privatize and degrade jobs. Democrats are working to protect the public's access to data and make responsible investment choices. Republicans' anti-ESG crusade, it protects their fossil fuel donors to the detriment of people's retirement security and their freedom to invest. Republicans' political crusade against responsible investing and calling it wokeness. Be woke. Don't be anti-black. It is investing. It's against responsible investing in an attempt to manufacture a culture war that you know nothing about, and you're not standing up to fight against and interfere in free market trends and protect corporate interests. And with that, I will say, don't speak about something that you don't know about. Learn about it from the people who are the ones that are most directly impacted, and change your language. Enough is enough. This is not about being woke. Being woke is the side of history you should be on. Wake up to the fact that other people are burdened differently than you, that other people have issues that you don't even understand, but you should be sensitive to. Wake up to that. And with that, I'll yield back.
He's woke, and so Canadians are broke, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would caution all members of this House on claiming some sort of a monopoly of caring about our nation's heroes. Terry Fox is beloved by Canadians, not just because his picture was in the passport, but because of his courage he demonstrated during the Marathon of Hope. The research funding that has come to help advance care for cancer patients. My family has been affected by cancer, and I celebrate still Terry Fox's contributions to our national discourse. Look at the advocacy on behalf of the member of Oakville to help secure funding to perpetuate his legacy, continue to improve cancer research. We can commemorate our heroes in a number of ways, and we're committed to doing that.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Prime Minister is out of touch and in hiding. Yesterday, as he left the House, he's challenged me to have more of these debates, and now he won't even get out of his seat and answer my questions. And we know why. He's afraid. He's afraid to defend not only his first carbon tax, which he admits will increase the price of gas by 41 cents a liter at thousands of dollars of net cost per family, but now he's got carbon tax 2, a second tax with no rebate that will increase food, heat, and gas prices even further. How much will the second carbon tax increase the cost of gas on hardworking Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So now we have the Premier, the Conservative Premier of New Brunswick, at the request of one of the Conservative member that has asked the federal government to put in place our carbon pricing system. We have a number of members, Conservative members, who have argued in favor of carbon pricing, Mr. Speaker. We have all of the provinces and all of the territories in Canada that have put in place carbon pricing in Canada, and while we've done that, we've increased jobs in Canada, we've increased economic development, and we've reduced our pollution by more than 50 million tons. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Starting in 2024, films will be required to meet new inclusion standards.
They make me vomit.
Why?
Because this is an art form. It's also a form of commerce, and it makes money, but it's an art. And no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea of what morality is. And what are we risking? Are we really risking hurting people's feelings? You can't legislate that. And you have to let life be life. And I'm sorry, I don't think that there's a minority or a majority in the country that has to be catered to like that. Yeah. You know, Laurence Olivier was the last white actor to play Othello. And he did it in 1965. And he did it in blackface. And he played a black man brilliantly. Am I being told that I will never have a chance to play a black man? Is someone else being told that if they're not Jewish, they shouldn't play The Merchant of Venice? Mm-hmm. Are we crazy? Do we not know that art is art?
I know when I was growing up, having like little Barbie dolls and they're all being like fair skinned, not really like me, I was kind of like, oh, I'm not the representation of like, you know, the beauty standard.
Whether it's a changer.
Not to just say and eliminate other cultures, but it's very rare for us to be able to relate to a mermaid or something as big as a Renaissance, right? And so when we see something that we can relate to that looks like us, it brings another level of like, wow, this is us.
For some in here.
As a black woman and as a black leader myself, it just opens up another door of excellence, black excellence, yeah.
I would define it as the phenomenon of big corporations taking active sides in the cultural wars and pushing the divisive left-wing social agenda on identity issues. So your local coffee shop telling you that they'll donate, 50 cents of every cup of coffee to BLM is not woke capitalism. That's small business. I'm focusing really on the major corporations, the Fortune 500s, or just even the publicly traded companies. And then I would distinguish it from corporate social responsibility, right? This was something, debates that the free market types had with in the 80s, like, should corporations just focus on the bottom line, or should they be good corporate citizens and, I don't know, donate to a little league, donate some money to philanthropy? That is not deeply divisive. I mean, generally speaking, if Amazon were funding little leagues, you may think like I'd want them to focus more on maximizing profits, but that's not a deeply divisive issue the way it is when they support Black Lives Matter, when they support transgenderism, when they support gay marriage, so on and so forth. So that to me are the two things I would emphasize in the phenomenon. Is I focus on the major corporations, not your small local independently owned business, and I focus on the taking sides, obviously always on the left, on basically identity issues of identity politics. Okay. And I mean, it goes back. I don't exactly know. I couldn't say when it begins, but it is definitely intensified very much in recent years, and it's now at a feverish pitch, as I think all of us see. So Gillette is going after toxic masculinity. Nike is supporting. I mean, they're all supporting Black Lives Matter. They're all supporting transgenderism. They're all, supporting feminism. I mean, at this point, they're all interchangeable. And it goes without saying that not a single one of them is pro-life. Not a single one of them defends the Second Amendment. Not a single one of them defends the integrity of the ballot. in a way that we would understand the term integrity valid. So it's always on one side.
Although every other word coming out of their mouths these days is woke, our friends have proven famously unable to define what they mean by woke. So I did a little research, and I want to help with the etymology of the word. Woke comes from the Indo-European root weg, which means to be strong, lively, alert. That root grew into woke, awake, wakefulness, but it also grew into the closely related word vigilance. And I think vigilance is probably the best definition of woke as you guys are using it. The whole point of being a fiduciary is to be vigilant, watchful and alert to opportunities and risks. And that's what asset managers, corporate board members, and executives do with other people's money. The opposite of a vigilant, woke investment strategy is a negligent and inattentive investment strategy. Or to put it more simply, when it comes to climate change, if you don't have a woke capitalism, you're going to have a broke capitalism.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So, you know, those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. Is that it's often anti-meritocratic. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, you know, another way to almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously, people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people. Maybe it's a bigger group.
Yeah.
Who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I don't think of you as a conservative.
I'm definitely, yeah. Like, I at least think of myself as a moderate. You know. So, I mean, at least I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy. You know, electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not a, you know, not exactly far right.
No, you drew that diagram.
Hey there, gamers. Now, about a year and a half ago, I made a video on this lovely man named Geeks and Gamers, and it did pretty well, you know, for my standards. Geeks and Gamers is sort of part of this larger YouTube community. Basically, all you do is just sit in your room, look on Twitter, and complain for 10 minutes. Probably about a woman being in a film or something like that. But there's just so many of the same creators who just sit down for 10 minutes and release just 10 minutes of unedited footage with a thumbnail which looks like this most of the time. You may think that I'm doing a sort of similar thing. It may sort of seem like I'm saying my content is better, but that's exactly what I'm doing, alright? Because these videos are all shit, they're all the same thing. The only thing that sort of differs between the videos are the turbo versions, you know. One video you might get a fat one you might get a hairy one, you know. You never really know. I also have no idea how the videos that these guys are making actually get views because they're actually insufferable people. But today I thought it would be fun. Go through each of these creators, sort of rate them on how much of a turbo virgin they are. I've got your clunk right here who's going to be taking scores, so you just go over there. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get started. Big festering turd. Rubbish! So our first target on the list is a big one. It's, of course, the quartering. I can't lie, just like many people I'm talking about today, content is shit, but his thumbnails, on the other hand, they're a work of art, let me tell you. Like, you just look at some of these thumbnails and you just have to appreciate some of the fine craftsmanship that goes into making some of these. Please explain to me what the fuck is happening here. Because I look at it, not as bad as the quartering, alright? But that mountain is higher than his cholesterol. However, he is still pretty insufferable, especially on Twitter. Something that Nerd Rocket does on Twitter, he denies that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, even though, you know, he is one of the Spider-Man. He's about 50% of Spider-Man. Now, you may be thinking, oh, well, that isn't that big of a deal anyway. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Which, yes, with the track record that these people have, he doesn't like the version of Spider-Man. It has a few differences to the original version of Spider-Man. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realise what that difference is. Given the track record of the awful opinions that this group of people have, you know, you just gotta sort of draw the line somewhere to what he's really meaning. Now look, I'm not saying he's racist, But if he is, I would not be very surprised, alright? I'm not going to be dropping my fucking Asda bags with my jaw dropping down to the floor going like, no way, that guy. And given the fact that most of the time he rates a movie on how woke it is, it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't like the version of Spider-Man, which isn't white. And look, I guarantee if the races were swapped between Peter Parker and Miles Morales, he'd probably fucking love it, alright? These people, they can't have their own opinion on stuff, alright? Because all their opinions are, it's all the same, alright? Hating on a character who isn't a white straight dude. Because apparently, the film has anything other, they call it political. Which apparently is a bad thing. Now look, I'm not going to the cinema to watch some like fucking Joe Biden and Trump debate, alright? A film where two women kiss isn't trying to push an agenda, pal. You know why? Because that's normal fucking behaviour. It's normal behaviour from humans. They do it all the fucking time. Quarrelling and neurotic might be, you know, a little bit shocked to hear that two people who love each other do this. I hate to change their worldview, but you know, it happens in the real world. It's like they won't call a movie bad based on its quality. They'll call it bad because they want to call it bad. They don't like.
The Harvard against against control too. These control agents are biggest companies in the world. Could you be the said Harvard control what you said? What your chiefness support this plan? One is aggressive global social control, O'Reilly historical control as the tumor, as well as the influence director MCA. To all story, I gave a spotlight to like SD. Cool.
Everybody says nobody really knows what it means, so what is woke?
I woke up. This a little mixture would work. The passengers were web rake. The whisker to rake up to a rake. The listener in the show is the case what about the means. In America slang, backward indicates politics of the most indicated or with. They used to work original in African American community original in met to the racial injustice. Many people believe another William Mavikelly, Conjad, Sejalai Watson, news and culture editor, your American music website Wikipedia, and the author of series articles are awarded for Woke. That, at 2 to 17, the world's English dictionary, the log media to woke, defined is the biggest world social political structure, especially races, so like good thing right, the vote that pass you wax. Just some people define the rules they woke, assuming it is discrimination injustice, or was the side thereof of insultery. The Oxford Dictionary is to make a distinction, and define it as the word it often used disparately by people or talk out to worthless users. It takes easier a talk too much about things, ready, blagging about and charge. According to American Dictionary Mary Levis, there is used disparately to have is some right in political liberal on issues such in racial and social justice, especially in how tax is as considered follies one estimate. In one word, some people, the big woke remarks in social racial events, question oppress paradigm norm historical impulse social. Their works directly describe epochs believe their morality superior and right to impulse to progressive ideas on what's. Critical woke culture made question to convince method about people take across bigger like police, especially typical considered misogyny, homophobic, and racist. One method I just generated achieved discover a cancellation, a social professional boycott user carried to social media, against individual hard tied down and side summit attacks 14 is intolerable. For woke people, is for non-violence, pastor empowers story, marginal group society encourages behavior, especially to move like sexual starks and well, heavily choose score crimes as persist, writers, punishment, and chance. But crucial the classical political connects texting extremity understanding federal to special and traditional American values. You have surely research upon the last few years the limited support on political culture. Against tax scholarship that exists matter as social media and tax shares that for by corporate sort of the world has such fear expression of opinions. Especially opinions constituting fundamental principles, feminist, anti-racist, trans inclusive, etc. Tax rate, work, agent, or culture. Normally, Chile's cycles later that work in Spain, the work as a demonstrative theoretic concept for American academic important compared to tradition and understanding. The two instances are very just for demonstrate cancellation and wokeism is a real authority process for the United States, as I corporate for little about as various methods for discussing farm rewards. The American light for the light have best used in his race. This video is will adapted to Spain regions it was urban steps United States, available to media and constitute vote works of fighters Mr. Carter and got bread very fighter attacked status process. Let's start clarify some important issues. One to relative Republican say social media, where to debate approaches and has over at to rewrite his position. Some Mr. Immediate character and some like Juggernaut. It is the Simpsons debate surrounded to so-called cancel culture have such Java naming. Her driver used in the rival Hispanic incorrect framework designed to export or solution. First, because reality does not express causes for power, because of facts and malicious behavior visitors or false reactions or malicious class denounce. Second is because the reality as we actually investigate if and were the comments for electors for the relations position for revolution the public critical capacity anonymous for releases archives one sector haver a character attack the noster or insulter. When often in just a master comments critical nuance response to former communist intellectuals to novels the public sphere. But, in addition, a so-called culture is not a correct perspective because North America original for support conversaries is real, but conceptual is times, concept and purpose for like arise great translation into social, political, medical, ideological, and cultural parameters. In this video, as I will explain what immediately I support culture evokes, not a disparate phenomenon, as one power ally to emergent social media, but something inside and multi-blooded historical, so-called culture wars. A political cultural dimension defines society, socio-political, economic, and ideological development in North America since recent descent. What begins the cultural questions are Tuesday are political confrontation. Tactic works because Summerless, the liberal, like-free political tax defending institutions shows their racial and social equality. The feminism, the LGBTQIA movement, to use gender data for us particulars, there was vaccine involvement activists related to abortion. Just a record later in Brazil, industry for the original media to work as also popular forces for learning genome language. The road election to the Brazilian courts was to decide everything the North Americans got woke and he also the word tax the term for original meaning of the word. Its official was a social network in Brazil as summer positive, like racial pastors and something. Over the kids lesson is maker station like team members of the sunglasses and the guys follow black lace and black lilac black bitter concert friends and rising discussions for 2020 year. Churches also as actors inspired what should screen our social or political powers. And verbal terms, whether social identical terms, rather by rational political power to terms used by rather for the original for a political role. Understand, just facile right like sun, when most understand the fatal ties arrived to the original mind over the times rather political field. With understands when political when the liberal side when later was the result by little party opposed ideologies were apart will to the field when the understand two systems were the two are miserable of time regards were more the life by political power with social like legislative power political fields will gas and the lunch for a right, mental right for a life, with the life on the sun of a time with a motivation and so internet. We are popular as the people don't correctly walk, like letters and the fastest amount. The sexist are the terms in social politicals are opposite the leader are political that defend, but the real work the faster the news rather to do with the castle the hand. The rather original match are greater as ever work the sides, both right and the left. Due to the fastest and the so criticism began to 19 juries and the 20 words. The baskets were fascists will believe unbelievable. Cuts a power is a rapper. Fascists and political and strong support government culture natural pride and once against communists and socialists. To socialize by the social union fascists and the left enemy, which later about the subject on generating fascists. At the water, some liquid fuel part because of political party of fascists, but were generated later causes started primarily to later fascists. The causes later meant water autonomy, a platform for right. The left is that fascism means the fascist on Nazi Germany. The corners of South America communicate. Many stand vigilant because working in intermediate because the left rights is such as racist society. However, over time, foreign groups began to pressure news against racial injustice, to base aware for social injustice, racial and social class, or the course of people in disability in society. Attempt works like novel like liberals. In the past, big worker and big race social justice society used school by black community in the United States. Today, work media to better progressive groups progressive the world will what the path with social injustice and the fight the work that was social injustice. Whether commonly by the conservative, whether people are social justice writer, the first to realize that they work. Not to raise the internet is wax toward the fight with the world like care. What for life western fashion workers a fashion worker like care. At times there was a lot one way because one but consumer wanted to understand what the fashion work is. The last of culture what we snapper past fashion nation what the culture life that what work like care communism. But the political camps, the original dialogical poster father vessels in Sotor, and watching and defining what the little rider are right because of what the laser vogans is hazard the prisoner when the wars. What the ranter base meter what the base of the session the fin night special fashions in some way the stepping the walk it is sempre one the not winning walk. For few time. is a lacro because Summer was a Brazilian politics arrested spreading team right is Summer's tutorial-based apparatus orthodox attractions. Arraigos is were a popular, especially progressive ideas. I like real initiative powers. Lacração is ours uso de encourage gender equality. LGBT rights is racial equality, etc. These policies associated in the United States with President Joe Biden Democratic Party in a more liberal way, which includes American political and social Congress Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. On the other hand, the most esteemed is a popular party led by former U.S. President Donald Trump believes this policy represents not only the family values, but no Democrat itself, which is opposed to red vote clearly. In 2023, wanted the settle actions the Trump's election campaign was to combat so like workless the U according to hand, but for legislation. Today, pastors instead to cancel culture, worldwide dialogue people love their jobs, change the sentence, and make those measures for the many one Jesus ways. It's the very definition of totalitarianism, the Republican leader accused. For Democrats, on the other hand, Trump is authoritarian. Some and that are questioned that once Democrats really use exclusive power after use was the first supporters invading the Capitol. Far from balancing debate, the first view that the Biden administration has given a polarization between two news sectors. According to the U.S. Presidential Center for the News Centers, today Democrats and Republicans are more ideological just under time in the last fiscal year. In September, public CBS showed new Harvard members both parties considered real not political opponents but an eminent. Ideology fails hands again because we live in November and youth levels elections will major elections. During the election campaign, my top supporters have joined again want to about election changes, a so-called democratic radicalism, results on German. We can submit to American public promises so media. We can commit chase around states. We can things once and you. You can blacklist your software. Is a happy web the summer resting. Use case will discuss I don't correct we will. For several political commentators, Bruce highly wanted for Fox News. Many Democrats criticized the cited statement, highlighted as along the latest social bus. After elections, Republicans invested in boogeyman instead of sides of publics in the new book lives live. Criticized Democrats Charles Crist, candidate of governors of Florida elections, to see as the new group network. Krista Pone is the fourth governor. Juan DeSantis favored position possible presidential change in 1924. DeSantis is one of the Republicans and mostly decided changes at work culture. This is the speeches. It was the peaks working in new elections at the left. In this contest, some Democrats, especially the modest ones, have won so-called white cards running the party, provided weapons Republicans attack them. Is a populist to everyone. Is the Democratic Party and users. Democratic political consultant James Carville, who Bill Clinton's victorious presidential campaign in the 1990s, told Vox. For Caldwell, the public is the summary most extreme proposal to circulate conceptions of society that use right supported the scalable borders. And as example, it is immediately defies the police and uses funds community rights programs. The idea emerged the model of George Floyd 2020 as seeks to address so-called systemic racism laws enforcement. 1 million Democrats, including President Biden, have spoken against the idea. Some areas for today, Liberal several Republican that aligned the Tide Party to its proposal, which will popular mature a population. Beyond alliance, the cluster is original, the cluster Black Tudor. After the market secretary manner, where the African Americans use the percussive later for the statement about son, about shatters the pop government, which is in the case with the culture community, the quasi custom in quasi gospel, is a good social next words, and sometimes is a choose like with us house, a basic soccer cultures, a soccer world culture. In ways such related, question my sister, especially the vampires castle, is a tendency that non-crazy racism, sexism, and the booster of power in good organizations, often justified, but surrounded by the basic realized tones. The leftist sector and the such activist military space are represented when the powers are used, especially the partial assault of the shows. These elements lead to mentions and issues adhere to prescribed the United States and another such aspect. At the same time, such political power assert belief before such emerges in electoral campaigns to seize presidential elections, agreement growth to the discussion confrontations and opened up. One of the main innovations is the noise, regulated identification of toxic networks, constituent reactions and reactions, oftentimes as conversations in discussion span, amplified by networks, in the way, and the society virus demonstrates. Top news back to that profile listeners and dynamics back to traditional media and networks, and the power that the factors to generated in the listed a variety in Twitter, what for the NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and the Radio Fox, their campaign to free agreed in team brief a media omnipresence already premise are formal and message, and the anti-spirit is affected the ratio to generation interaction, and it has probably similar easy increments of polarization is worthy the forest hypothesis is in one thing compared one accoupling. All of these elements covered which 2020 and in climate change and that generating controversy surrounding server coders cross country in 2023. Perhaps magazine highlights manifest suggestions and open debate forward for liberal sector positions. And the sci-fi-cast figures. General Master of Helix Culture established bird club speak red figures for folks to the left. To the perpetations there are executive intentions in the soul. So good is the cases in the possible aside and moreover you have elaborate. But is it possible to place still a letter into media context? Questions entitled to a level in effect, to level wide publicity in 2020 that is in midst want to rather reporters aggressive mood of George Floyd, a Minneapolis police officer. At other contexts, as several studies have pointed out, the lesser harvest social mobilization in the history of the United States, which was obvious affected anti-networks, about so recent main institutional and, above all, anti-radical officer and disseminated about in many major authors. World culture is also generate criticism for its Democratic Party leadership, and one for its most famous vocal director is for President Barack Obama. In 2019, at every Joe Biden's elections in Democratic nominee following her president elections. Obama criticized the fact that you and people are particularly accused for working people role. He spoke several Democratic candidates had forced popular apology of past statements. And get this sense high some right people as social media believe that it was intelligence agenda acting people as much as possible. The former president signed an annual mediation for Obama Foundation.
You know, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. Yep. People who do really good stuff have flaws. Right. People who you are fighting may love their kids and, you know, share certain things with you. And I think that one danger I see among young people, particularly on college campuses, Malia and I talk about this. Yara goes to school with my daughter. But I do get a sense sometimes now among certain young people, and this is accelerated by social media, there is this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. I'm going to get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. You know, that's not activism. That's not bringing about change. You know, if all you're doing is casting stones, you know, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do.
But the Kansas member, the House Representative, charismatic Democratic Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, as Comer wrote in defense of wokeism, IERC. A share causes it traces and indirect party during polling in the coming year's elections. It will because Congress are failing to pass very legislation wanted for worker activists. Backer shift causes. Work it think panic has been used a party a family a civil rights and justice. She tweeted November 21. Investigate work it Wilson and Parrot Civil and Body Rights Anti-Barbuck. AOCRs. Its Ryan Check alleges a power in public majority vote suppress. That's dangerous. PA Mothercroft with yellow as the law are facing the weather level the fast you clear. To Pamela closer to those climate the Big Lives Matter smoother and apparent eating swing a summer 2020 as with a level lightheaded. The river Black Lives Matter notice fixed, but it is a losses. However, more than the quad-shape issue, it is about understanding profound effects generated, a profound self-questioning of North American society, often historic novelty supported its self-perception as a criterion and at the effects of the pandemic, as the economic, social, political model. This is profound and radical question of not only the aspect and justified and the party African American populations. The allies, these Democrats of soldiers against police brutality, is sore effects and challenges in the majority of the country, including white population. In fact, the Black Lives Matter one in 2020 made Arab American effect showed about North American society white Jews vast complex begins and left by traditional Damascus and majority, inclusive white and minorities, averages and cells. However, this is demographic reality that sort of automatically translated political reality. It interests the younger generations, ages 45 and under, millennials to ZS, and generate more diverse and further most parts, mutual progress. But it's also true that there are numerical small changes one, such as the boomers and the X, maybe a much wider end. In general, left conservative, perhaps is democratic centered immobilized is right and for right, because in any case, these gains and neither uniform for unidirectional and above all, takes much political articulate elate of the extreme change and in fact of dramatic reality, pandemic, climate change. Guns in school, police brutality, economic is a public satire. And this is how consolidated happily is today what it is. The ghost maker fights against the future. This generator is the perspective in a one only factor as an asset and the unsettled and most crucial in absolute terms. However, it allows us to understand some important factual and corrupt intellectual effects. For example, the natural and meaning of the question of the for consolation and the text de la creature wildlife and as having aligned not the original thinking, highlight attributes and subcultures. Unique be expected to culture is accordingly, often unattractively, but the classic cost costly, and the cost of dog risk to use the closer measure or corporate natural, but request essential constitution in a variety culture considered quite constitute a lagration that quasi closes the class that work. As the virtue of this current American intelligence was the decrease people are low wage. Tax in solidly concerned about their close world people rights, especially the fight against racism. That is, the silence is concerned about the world and around the people and the right, especially in the fight against racism. But beyond that, what is attacks is cancellation, and workers are trying to do is punish to do new sensibilities of Europe's nations, criminalize and infatuous and behaviors, and try and block these separate forms as solid begins on back white people, sensibilities and parties as hypocriticized and resident reactions what very well arrested formations and terms in military of profound ideological shifts. Obviously, expanding audience do not as started a possible medias and what demands of a summary. On the other hand, and especially hand talks about the discursive text of images laid online. It is not possible at the birth live world intentional incentive language users. It is important to cite as the for methodological hazards always raising intellectual, ethical, and political analysis and also text. As you'll see, it's likely in many opponents it is controversies, attributed to a systematic bad faith or willful lack compensations. at controversy over the cancellation of the publication of the like e-happens. Does not corporate or conservative Republican election strategy, but the open the future would foster the merger back and to fill an enormous gap that raises a question what the Black Lives Matter had opened in American society, its self-perception and its imagination. Every campaign is about the cancel culture. This begins to articulate itself in the discussion of side woke and wokeness. Some of the side describes a woke agenda, and to time woke ideology, what will become characterized by the social project, defined and sustained, and seems as nationalists rather and white North Americans. It is once again immaculate, searchable and responsible central media, CNN, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, etc. rush us again to punch a space arise, define the censorship and turn toward moral panic. But surely this most articulate premeditated for reactional offensives arbitrary attack on the cultural race theory of the ability SCRT. Once again, Westminster began talk about the concept, its original migrant arrived erroneous interpretation and one's conception a real storman. Critical race theory is a several academic discussions and practices made even allows legal studies, which in general terms serve investigative and explain and way which race are white supremacist rape-shaped American legal and legal frameworks. To add to this history, with the quantitative Harvard investigation later impositions as over the check progressive characters, do carry anti-racist emphasis but it affects quote, a serious debates and conceptual and academic field with intellectual internal dimensions, like and one intellectual and academic field, and words some may vary for defined program or projects. For it is popular as the lakes, because for can similar workshop campaigns, circles, school, and media of the education institutions and organizations. Irregularity leaded are not alarming about them. I think like a question, a grave name and conceptual intentionality and its society. On it of Jean Becker's crew figures a critical race theory. Parent world in was a common physical question labor formulated in documents at this word cluster knowledge separation. For example, but there is a moral question of the spirit and the skill of the facilitation and workshop of the specific contest at which the held arranges and participants in experience and discomfort in discussing a separate topic and not teaching a regular guided by different doctor, much like by non-exist doctrine. Suppose the culture to inspire good and self-flagellation that slow into a white North American population or population of social engineering. In a powerful and visual Benjamin Wallace Wells, for the New York offer Wilson explained in journalists, conservatives neither a new legacy of the issues political correctness and others and does not explain what's going on. It is not being alleged or foiled something of cultural modalities and limits by the leads relationship fundamentalist human psychology and social intuition was a new political race. It is a motivator and simple characters, which is a mechanism of social culture, but is not natural whether got real or not. willful, tax judge paranoid construction, father a prefer enemy quickly because raise start reaction right, and idolize last war. What is fascinating about Wilfred Russell absolute transparency is their intention and methods. Tax, here when your data as vitals and research discovery. Tech fans are also role. Customer culture and absence and night trends were political program. Work is good at that. But is both too extreme, too easy to dismiss. Critical race theory is perfect villain. Its corner creates a capsule everything text is negative and most middle class America, if there is for racial minorities. They see the world as creative rather critical, and were individualized their racial reality. A summary particle with theoretical, ideal critical race theory causes summary lateral, academic, device, race observed, poison race, allergies, anti-America. Its work is equally folklore because it respects the object of growth and style reaction offensive. The sorrow meant the critical race theory and the short secret and possible of inter-race sausage by stimuli rate investment in victimization. His unique actor both in reflection and depth social dialogue because right back live matters and generates the faster recursion of cruiser. One can also see how what's necessary because in same thing is like castle culture physical execution Jackson lecture to concentrate or team prefer enemy. One to have as the object as to campaigns against have president called again. Firstly, by consider had in Aberskers because consider communicate and hate crimes and hate speak of covers. Kusai campaign until side of potential student was for hazard the potential against suicide in Gaza on American universities, expanding in CTGZ by Sebastian Faber. Then, took water when the question accusation of penetration, which is related against Messer, and with Greeks, with a director is effort against diversity, equity, and inclusion. Programs, text in name suggested. Programs, text supported into requested diversity, equal opportunities, and inclusion institutions companies and workplaces. Center Unidos Trabalhadores Court as o Brasil Popular approves some funds for major national mobilization against the amnesty for Vara Corps and General Way. 2023, the weather the Cruz and the political assassination for the foreign President Jair Bolsonaro 2020 presidential election. In capitals and major municipalities across the country, these rallies, rising marches, and the public demonstrations to demonstrate procedures the cause the better amount for the bills powers, but that's practices organized Lisbon or home. It decided a record under the United States that every corruption for the political group or not to corporate and under democratic and democratic a level of violence human shocking. A council water break was a live zero of political corpus and organized crime terrorists. It was one serious and were considered elementary power, but former government and just Bolsonaro better 2019 and 2023. The movies and the men go the order and the three for coup powers. They included the bosses and workers, whether wages and wages and six on the scale, and discusses on major specials, taxation of the healthy, graduate investment and graduate education scholarly spending. Oppositions were European investor considered the past proposal criminal abortion and the genocide by EU and stretches to industries. This was the word about the school authors, about authors in democracy, the working class students, and the racial populations might attack stretches demonstrations. The species requires school powers and becomes in the frontier Brazilian democracy. Other two water posters are Brazilian state Mazipada and the Zephyr matter, which might speak where the street are concerned and defend. Democracy and human rights because the water coast and the watership. The water castles over was muffled the water loser rights. A Brazilian social norms president national court. Jair Bolsonaro was vigorously elected but ineligible. What close elections are investigated police and congressional commission after the Curio de Car. Combined with Donald Trump's previous 2020 was established records USA noticed the net fashion rate the rest worldwide, symbol like rough my event and the Argentina elected Javier Milei. Supporters tax one Jair Bolsonaro, Victor Obama, Prime Minister Hungary was there. The abstract for anti-2020 has the state also illustrator. Major rights tax driver for fighter rights committee ubiquitous, and the party for rights constitutes after evil to nature. A long-standing aspirations constitute for a formidable idolater is Chief Banner. The Bill Gates and the Curio Powder Superior January 2023, expected before 2024, the Chances Deputy Concerts just a Citizenship Community, CCJ. The bills are the community made agenda. A party would be this forward for community, but requested for review and positive word, and the Simon and Government Party work the later would be review. According to the text, was represented as a federal deputy radical Valadares Union C. Waters was participated in demonstrations which a political underworld allocation motivation, a superintendent, meals, encounters in religious donations, logistical support provisions of official publication, social media and performance. Before January 1, 2023, and when the ferry the forces the law for an state. Logical supporter are popular several publication social media and platforms between June General 2023 and David and the Force to the Loss REM state. Logistic support provision service publication social media and performance. Between January 8, 2023 and the 20th is a fossil law at the state. The 701 people were informally charged by this was PGR for inventor for Coup X culminated the statute for the quarters of Puerto and government on January 2020. The professor the core STF conviction to charges that forms of President Jair Bolsonaro. As at the beginning of this month, 2029, it begins a conviction calculator decided already on its investigations. Research wages for 1617 was processed criminal association, as the games defense relations rated violation to democracy of the law and to use the car. In the case of the accused, decided yes, when settled runs were prisoner, when the police communicated several radical democracy causes, and the vicious courageous the past routed the voice alliance rocket votes, and the massive page several master cycles million collective moral damage. It is the several possessors the swearing wenches of the social chosen 2020 defense ceremonial quiz agreements and the case of the crows. On this agreement, defense could tonight direct politically aggressive vandalism measures against Congress, the President's policy, and Supreme Court could affect crimes and the changes foreign measures of the President. Just tonight, could 27 members of the Schedule 1 and was the Schedule of Bolsonaro governance, including general police officers, the former presidential affairs. Recently, the diesel fire police were arrested at the tar, a case of fire of PGR. Maxwell B. 2028 is away in 2022, offered by Congress a major legal goal, paralysis goal, to Western Congress. The bill was rejected Chamber and Deputies. The postal grants amnesty orders were participate demonstrations anywhere to the territory for the 2022. The West to unlock the fact on the Congress aspect 5. Clearly, this is a Latin America popular. In France, Marine Le Pen, candidate of a far-right national rally or party, lost a presidential elector Emmanuel Macron. However, this is 42% of the vote, the best for the fire candidate countries in 1995 week. To fight the virus Italy, FDI party line increased the 6 majority seats of parliament, and based on later German majority because prime minister. In Poland, the Just Party lost government attention to its majority in parliament. In the Netherlands, leaders anti-Islam and trans-union parliament was in the elections, secreted and several on the words for the 60 Dutch parliament. Each is the countries, each is the new episodes, what episodes, how do you get here, how you get possible. And tonight with questions the 5 ships of rest, on the country, on the 5 surface, 5 complex and multifaceted phenomenon, and the maths indefinite to understand the roots, dynamics, and the packs. It is more to guys, maybe label you define the movies, conservative, populist, right-wing, etc. However, to the first use of popular, considering the both international conditions, the original movies, financial capital, and the right government going first again your social base. Rights capacity, right popular sectors. Thanks to your weakness to like popular organizations. Stephanie and Robert Chamber wanted Pollard versus the Logical Foundation in 1918. A revolution of diverse teams were written was a liberal social strategy social equality. Was a popular policy that launched transformation of the society. At the best of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, reducer and mere argument in individuals. Now liberal policy of weakened the left powers fragment and isolate the social base, the workers. At the same time, they have promoted an officialization was along professional economic collapses, but was a selected environmental destruction and introductions in labor rights, like mechanism compensate the loss of cost in nationality. To stay in the society, the one includes the super rich 1% of population. Financial capital quasi includes a policy to maintain inclusive of to policy. Therefore, the nefascists are not the factors nebulism. The next space necessary to develop and maintain a fountain of policy economy or right. There are either similarities between and the young factors, but a diverse culture will face a reason, a level where the claim the narrow, reason no matter the freezer or flag, where the fascist relational relations are waiting to the sick. But it was a reason claiming ignoring the line contradictions. The ventures contradictions for the producer defy the fact is a natural border indicting about 10. The sand and the world culture industrial culture, on the other hand, for Mad Max The Walking Dead, Hollywood of data apocalypse actors that stop conversation when the world must like it, acceptable, and when the capitalist sister. On the other hand, he elevates one's weight at the excited rising side of gods, where he reaches billionaires whether to part of first euros, million fathers in space, while the stars were funny whether COVID-19 pandemic or life behavior is part and bold, whether companies disconnect with humanity with richer rooms set the right side. The second dimension's idea, the cultural world. A time coined James Davis Hunter's 1991 book, Cultural Wars, started defining America. Hunter argues in social battles or growth situations, global warming, immigrant separation, racial disdain, LGBT rights, transformers, and corrupt American political power culture. The Cultural War, according to author, the Western Page unifies the related to national nations considered racial fundamental obvious reason of the liberals. The Russia that caused minorities outside the state discusses sabotage democracy and marching people against the right. As helps the American President survey of private votes in the United States revealed that today's his wishes tax cuts. The likely lecture featured a better supported conversation about the justice activism, such as 9% of parents, work corporate 66%, defined by liberal indicted movies, illegal immigrants 6%, and racial indoctrinations 6%. Debates about orgasm don't just dominate America's political and cultural agenda. The gospel was a disaster world. The Western company one the fighter was for you the child changes independent, for better or worse, as woke. I know the case that the latter was the legislature's conversation writing was the best consider about me. Custer talks about the behavior like the bully sex rights section. The advertiser opposed my many will also be canceled most of the YouTube provoking and the boycott was obeyed by the manufacturer. The economic proposals of companies wanted to Procter and Gamble. Let the creator are maybe because they're popular among the right. Get woke, go broke. In recent times, the company that has the rise of most surprising criticism for messages question woke is Disney. In April 2022, Governor DeSantis decided to build the Walt Disney Company offers special legal status on the state of Florida. Republican lawmakers wanted that there one not approve a station of Disney copyright music category, Mickey Mouse. The Goose Gladiator tag opens each company's executive to elect a public class sexuality, sexual orientation, or gender diversity in foreign elementary schools. Dubbed by critics don't say gay love. Battles for public protection strike face the company's silence. Disney possibility the stage of posters is hollowed. What impresses their power that this current company opportunity to good. I agree, said the Disney Samurai Bob Chive at time. The criminal accused some conservative or work activists, workers or black actors like the new versions caused the little method. The original cartoon, The Cartoon Radio, Professor Factor has a Christian Anderson. A portrait remember right against your blue eyes. Western your has both faces. On the other hand, the Coaster Berkshire creation has a present voice or another one of fans representative, but are considered that as mythological characters that the rival is key color. The Senate and the Republican riders could decide on compulsory side involvement, social and governance, ESG, impartial investing, call it work capitalists. The fact that there was, in the fact, a charter global corporation special financial maker, a record that the corporate social involvement and global governance complex among the irregular and potential consumers, it is following magnates. Several questions are based shaking what the world indicates. 1 to 10. A company good at you can special generative cards a professor shared words with the warnings or the social factor to the creatures. There's several possible answers, but you understand the reason for truly social involvement responsible government will such horizons and purpose, and to search for the publication World Bank in partnership with the United States and Global Bank. Consequences the legal sector questions and the other efficacy rules. Director responsible research and vision of the world of financial industries. Work grants. The publication stages. Fourth among one is social inclusive responsible investment and business. An important detail at talk about an important make governance lacks on ideologies. This time the capital understood that companies incorporate good involvement social governance particularly start marginal loss of votation, rather responsible region and rather motor general in the poverty. While the corporate world individual is responsible by leads. ESG for English environment, social and governance. Lotus translated is more environment, social and governance. Environment, Social and Corporate Governance (ESG) is important to assess corporate incorporate social, environment, and governance aspects and decision-making process. ESG focus reach purposes, specific and necessary to packages, liquid international package. This is the latter two, but not the same as corporate separate one. It's watching for the body operating society about the long-term action linked to the aspects but aspirations. That ESG will as popular use searching for another weekends wins, which is a joint initiative financial international invitation UN. That work washes the use 1919 by Island job chief as everyone live. One the best ratified to attack viral corrections fire culture to fight the story industry. But the journalist will lose what the wider opinions culture what was the culture why the love work capitalist. Or unbeliever was the chapter massive believer software general form. In further the public rights President Donald Trump right work policy, the right of large provider social media provider working wokeism, the rights of the data touch on American violence, a vital touch on the American family, in the case of university specifically. The opposite against conservation, the universal progress, academic, useful parameter, alumni, perspective, social oppressors, white, well opinion, margin, and privilege. Since the university restored created house school elite at Western University, her history composer was exclusive O'Reilly and Berkeley students. An imposter as the latest conservative used to support Marxist structural racism and the Barcelona social class oppressor. Alright, I like the cause of social justice. The Spooder writer span, according to conservative public leader with Donald Trump, to largely academic hierarchy in the United States and the world. Economics of the parties, federal university administrators, magazine, TV, newspapers, economic associations, funded agencies, govern the parties. It is, my God, enough, earlier wider worker, no respect, right, and life, political day to you. The two work agona for original middle racial, the later rise is progressive, which conservative public client classical religion, as a beginning of video, another kid, as sort of work educational work is Google, several letters by local politicians and conservative intellectuals. Arab books, video, public comment, and the time work as religious. To expect Carter Temer work and would work are have to particular were political and right because the social movement like the for North American move appropriated the right to conservative Republican right the Temer ones right discouraged the black movement social movement discouraged right which was the part of the world the story idea. So not American black movers what they were work movers. Due to which the demonization of the worker right today. Corporate abandoned the black movement helped the original disseminate. In case of large social media profiles, the exopros were the Bible with the words conservative cause. There was a bizarre class of the American Democrats because while the progressive are control to manage economic production, they can score social agenda, pop culture, and pop policy. Their control over me control reproduction, academic sciences, or chronologics. The conservative and the political image in 1921 were the cause of the class were marginal groups, circular people raised the scores of metal powers, circular meteorologists the sorrows, with the indictors or social or political change, such as the slider movement in the United States, the capital crow, cursor used the indict social value negative value combat pressure change. Capital causes to metal tape password America with disability actual and joined into 2019. Thus, the spider identity power traversal begins in youngest, who can most connect the internet to the world. Mr. The Frank was a progressive democrat, higher teacher alias workers, promover teachers work as video games, films, series, and music, and support the idea of society. Also, why does Donald Trump's governor and scan the idea work Team by the fighting America Union Foreign some Harvard Stanford University Princess etc. To create a better against the teacher as a student rival progressive world super intellectual work culture also against the government raised conservative American Republican value white supremacy, misogyny and xenophobic. English genres work was believed work capitalistly warning former people for corporate responsibility. Alternatively, American journalist Elizabeth Burnett work capital send revolutionary capital record you the stand but for the public good. In Hamid, foreign capitalists and the celebrate whether against capitalists. Elisa Brunner offers our opinion what capitalists like acquires adversary progress causes. Work capitalist backlog vanguard XGI paper wrote the world global agenda dominant worlds. Easter was a work capitalist were asked to answers. Yes, but your imaginary quarter dot use customer matter comment video. The laser was a capitalist story. Capital considers sister company I prefer property. Watching military government does the other companies was our companies produce several goods several make profits a real capitalist is our people invested money will purpose rather than one that profit so Parker workers that some research capitalist corporate is not the one that government produce several investment money was a tax right world like not work public capitalist mobility. But what is monopoly? Basically, a company or smaller company controls amounts or market specific products or specific services or goods as a from monopoly but zero post offers. The post offer be one character, one card line by likes the level likes power cards. Power cards are partial for sheer and Alex specs. and so on. What Europe will and the charge side several monopoly. Therefore, for a posture of the right company, definite monopoly. There is a monopoly by the capitalism market general, the tax corporate, a self-corporate influencer make our conditions. In one word, sister or the word company episode company, or cross server what one piece of one, a person or civil everyone watch, or consumer or feel up to you. This is a power the company that is so much power influence. It can help make decisions that benefits so life as the consumer economy general, or capitalist like that is government that are private companies. Remember this, but kids are limited or serious companies can grow emerging following. YouTube chega platform similar or wanted to come about TikTok or why types or large but Saturday. Frequent the part of bill than fire the government. Example corporate for a monopoly project is Alibaba. Competition regulator China imposed a fine $21 billion Alibaba for a violent economic cooperation whose the loss. The fine was the loss history. A driver chevy correct package exclusive and caused the federal Alibaba only dominant parasites. City companies are privatized by government for monopolizing making it a matter point or lockdown beer spend. There were common gigantic later of the note after do is the case Coca-Cola Unilever Nestle market for the market general, for example. Back work capitalization cellular store is the story. You remember your tax weird capitalists. There were a big worries to make it a popular several producer or several consumers. Tax will basket rates or make a profit tax weather as example Disney or Dr. Walter master films or what is a rare box of values. Let's compare the great success in the past in addition. Disney films also have several progressive agenda. In the fact, they want to work people at Disney want while black and LGBT educators work several jeans work agenda. But ever so, the films are not applying default souls and now mapped apply not perfect show. It exists no graphic grid. I cooperate not perfect the lesser speak in theory. Already expand the John Waiter channel I sales, but the company I money was too. Remember my company making money rather capitalist with true investment. Imagine the you company who takes your producer sanitary products like a dollar. There are not a person or loss offer money or corporate sector that government matter money. And in return, or have those making more of our free. One had people have those amazing water company, such as the Mender water having no growth fabric, the rock or castle shadow. This water was invested in you. The same company in general, the has investor better timing. This investor would want demand companies or represent social agenda, socialized by the Disney or the such companies such as speak to shadow or the counter show the theory on the investors as the company that was investor one, the world making more money. As the investor on the ones demand the companies will present model social agenda such as by the Disney World corporate seller to speak to the shadow of the side character or the theory. Other investors are the company don't want one investor want more making more money. Such as you vis-a-vis your shareholders. No lady. See shareholder use of people already every companies are revenue to guide back rocket and vanguard here. Choose our companies that right larger routine or companies that are large enforcing what you must larger companies what can imagine. Those skill really woke no was just power. Companies generally use such as social agenda or local goods such as dominant knowledge values. What your ideas capital, what your cultural social loyalty costs. Social value, social major, social history, a political party, and social groups people. As group investors, social academic takes necessary for the cause. Social theory, stigma, that's cause, puff, that make it much say. So do you matter what stage you are woke? Correct. No, because everyone the wild stage because a new worker care about the right tag money and not about social issues. Social church shows the right the force to much for lower progressive stand. The right structure, the barriers don't respect RSG, environment, social and governance. This digital factor user measure sustainability, social impact, investment, company, and business. Environment factor, rather company factor, vector, the social cost, the right interactions, wider power, software, computers, communities, governance, measurements, companies, margin, policy, and procedures. In other words, when a company was goes was in the ESG, a single to evaluate company and go to company is a basic company to consider given source company. It must not was SG requirements because revenue was a model cost company what company was not was near patch SG because it was no issue. Some investor was you one what the stock you run a new SG job. What you the benefits are your SG, simple. You pay the more or less. Basically, you said your company is a good, has a good hacky SG. Until investor company took you take already several cases after people lower your SG configuration or the configuration completely abstract make your sense. What the right word don't right me. First, a company got monopolized the market. I will not recommend the government sectors that are appointed the right companies are several one products. The right comes timely when the company can and spend money. We got one for you fans got a group of companies. What you consider for companies are the great master raider possible. Not you write a corporates where corporate got to work companies. Got you don't know to work outside. Whether capitalist bank or capitalist. What you capitalist are not respects market Bitcoin to actually consider right knowledge watching media right tax what's good much believe in watch. What you know reason people need to read or consider paper called the Bitcoin values where you find the work summary. Such a better make a company or make it make people believe that right matter more. Right people believe that. That's how to make it, but people believe that matter more. What it was a value symbolic rather hallelujah valor rather war. Around the American capitalism measure rather was SG or rather gospel rather measure or rather beautiful rather value to USG. It is neither true or capitalists are not what powerful or more power. The world monopoly capitalists are better monopoly capitalists. Where the world capital work capitalists are more capitalists, more social, more money. Rather, much rise where Brazil as you, but you for the banks color from better into what happens better sector in Brazil. It's a reason contribution that happens by the banks where economic collaborative powers are work barriers with several got your group. There is a group regulator like banks are the party of barber, summer stupid where a pilot for the course, otherwise you stupid things. Recent history of master example to demonstrate organizational culture of degree, or this example SG values factor results. But after results and understanding the progress documented before. The tragedy of the Bangla fan, as later by Netflix. A rich investigator bullying work playing responded for two contact of that by process of people of the things they safe. Let's corporate companies are the cost as the end of trenching were manufactured of the aspects matter and liberty in Brazil per primaries, as average core administration by all this. It's not too difficult to later of public Russia or Ukraine, violence cultural independence. Word opposite of was ESG culture for the world in several instruments, its involvement and strategy. It is opposite or good governance. It is raised up by the larger social concern. It is necessary. It's a virtual sense that Western future nature is tragic. Basically, Belila Valles was inclusive digital, impossible by Calais Backless, cannons, rifles, and minus courage. In recent days, the larger global companies are never reached Russia, the Basana, but because of the custom, the regulating imports are global, the cost of gas water cost locally. It undervote the final micro to challenge as much as $31 correct bank investment companies SG Visa package. As Brazil takes a profit represented 28% of the value companies B3. However, in the possible well, it insists the doctors the tolerant protection simulator. Also, the weather gaming washing. A company that selling imagine for sustainability of don't daily sort of glider west. The terrorist have got a apology corporate talk rush first products her offer and the French challenge. ESG is just a topic for companies to financial micro. See Anita, for example, because of person includes diverse several allocations, but especially the right of regulating that Down's syndrome or just questionable case. Because no maker was also a bit dominant social ability special attributes. World government, where possible government ESG, the state or spiritual central Brazil, you understand by big ESG agenda international governments are having a fundamental role for the is culture. Involvement governing natural government is leadership a separate 2020 going to 90 corporate costing 2020 nice criminal cost channel requires spiritual center following for government discoursing in bioeconomic. Carbon emissions and deforestation. In terms of quite life light, a social impact like health causes infant mortality, high expectancy, tolerance, hunky high school education, but public provided terms of government. Sorry, translation in Brazil, according to the Corporate General of the Sorry International Brazil, at the Organization Brazil, what state nature almost there for anti-corruption like. But doing homework is not. He's a stager, narrator, innovator, doctor, lecture SSG perform. He consider project like the United States of Personal Development Goals. United States of Public Private Community and Journals for Government Better Governor like Stark. United States Way. A market register social goal. But is adult arithmetic like express an individual figure alone, no matter how skillful and opportunity shall be. What is to evaluate is measured by the effect it produces, the normalization of summer discourse and the marginalization of trust, the threat of the powers the public debate. The political emotion invoked is one alone action and reaction. For what it may see, just real mere discourse is real. The short lasting a cluster of space matter in concrete inversion. Is the case. A photo a direct attack at public education. Both are primary auxiliary school and university. The effects against CHG as generate criminal and discord among parents, school and education authorities throughout the country, which convention amplified by media as alleged to along series of protests of the first subtenors of the terms para discourage and local school district access and education boards, events number of the public, and to and criminal intimidation of education officers and agents, which as and much as the relations. This week in the public school make it for new members to a local district make bubbles of education services and for new rules to adopt, namely, all grades or select often operate for private school and shared school and like kids regulate advance. That's example and total look at curricular transparency. Our in-name often find English in doctrine and of crazy to sacred further either choose. The aspiration in this campaign is also evident in tactics of political figures like Ron DeSantis, the former governor, and the Windsor recent Republican candidate has implemented backlash to censor books, implement messages like a don't-decide gay, to eliminate sex education of schools, and attempts rather of happen to transfer our new college Florida and modern a traditional very progressive public right education institution by chance in government borders class programs the right conforming college education Missouri. This software right make a box unnecessary a Victor the Black Lives Matters run the opponent and right and face at the tractor are the right and some the life right at the razor idiot for the right beyond the main identity and is about ragged history and scope is a story and is contrived narrative but is also about everyday life for staff or communities on the street, beyond the police and school education to future everyone. It is about living isolation, is fear of a lead, tapas is past ideal and fairly, against phantasmagorias and about discovery speak fully what society and white life as work. The speaks of the use are not video. Thank you very much for the support after giving me what the likes, subscription and shares. Thank you very much for watching our video. The end. Thanks Ian. See you next time guys.